Hi everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to talk about how to plan your day and actually stick to it. Well, we're going to talk about first how to plan your day and then we're going to tackle how to stick to that plan. So let's start with planning the ultimate, the very successful, the very happy day. To be able to make a good daily plan every day and actually be able to stick to it pretty much every day, the first thing we got to do is to understand who you are. I know it sounds a little bit like too excessive, but hear me out. You gotta understand who you are and how you perform, how you function the best to be able to structure your day. For example, are you a morning person? Do you like getting things done early in the morning so you can relax, or do you wanna, start easy and do the most important thing later? These are important things to understand to be able to structure your ideal day so that it works for you. And what I'm talking about here is the ideal day routine. In a perfect world, in a perfect situation where nothing crazy happens, how does your perfect day look like? Once you understand that, perfect ideal day routine kind of thing, then you can use that as a guideline when you're planning your days every day. Let me explain this by using the example of my ideal day routine. I like taking mornings slow. I don't like to get up and go. It just stresses me out so much. So I like to have a really relaxed, really long morning routine. That's when I know I perform best during the day. And I also like getting some personal things done before I start my workday. For instance, my workout, for instance, reading. And that's pretty much why I'm keeping a 2-hour morning routine at the beginning of an ideal day. After that morning routine, that long morning routine, I feel like I'm ready to conquer the day. I'm ready to do whatever. And that's why I like to do my most brain requiring work as early as possible. So when I start my work day, I like to do the most impactful thing, most brain heavy thing, and just get it done. Since I feel so energized and so ready, I like to do the thing that will grow my business, and I leave the admin and running the business kind of things a little bit later in the day. And I actually design my morning routine to serve this purpose. The things that I'm reading, the things that I'm doing, the moment I come into my home office is all serving to that purpose of getting the thing done as early as possible in the day that will help me grow my business. And if you're curious about my morning routine, I filmed that one before and it's going to be linked in the description box. So I work, and by lunchtime, I actually start getting really tired. So just the hour before lunch is when I do my inboxes. I go through my emails, my WhatsApp accounts, my client messages and all of that stuff, because I am actually energized by talking to people, and this is not a high brain power kind of thing for me. So I like to do it just before I eat, and that also determines how I plan my days, right? After food, I take client calls, my success calls. I'm a success coach, so I like to do these client calls just after the lunchtime, because after food, I feel like I can just take a nap. And like I said, talking to people energizes me, so it's better to talk to someone rather than having a nap and, can carry on with the other things in the day. And that's exactly why I'm keeping all my client calls between 2 and 4, and only then, just to serve me and serve them better. And after that, I have my social media tasks, like checking my YouTube comments. There are some tasks on my Google Tasks that I need to tackle, the little things, some personal things as well. That's when I tackle them, and I slowly get into my evening routine. And I finish that workday with these little things and also planning the next day. And I actually have my evening routine as a video for you as well if you want to watch it. That's also going to be down in the description. But let me just ask you this question very quickly. Are you subscribed yet? Because if you're not, please just go down there and do that. Thank you. It's free. It will really help me, and you'll definitely benefit from my videos. So go hit that button. Thanks. So yeah, this is basically the guideline that I use to plan my days. I look at it and I try to fit my daily schedule for the next day as much as possible to this perfect flow. And if you want to create your ideal day routine guideline, there's another video about that, also linked below. So go do that for yourself. It's going to really help to understand how you can make the most of every day. And every single day combined makes our lives. So it's quite important how you use a single day. And also another thing, this is more of a planning tip. Not every day is exactly the same because the tasks in the morning are quite different. And for that, I actually use something called batching. I batch similar things together and I do a certain type of task on Mondays. Let's say it's writing related. I do certain type of things on Wednesdays, which is filming related. So if you can group similar things together when you're doing your weekly planning, that will help you maximize your usage of time. Okay, going back to the topic. Now we have that ideal day routine and we can create a daily plan looking at that ideal day routine. How are we gonna stick to that plan? Well, I use Google Calendar for this. I use it because you can see time passing, and that is just creating this time is passing, I didn't do the plan, I should actually get going and, just do it. And it's always open on my computer screen, so I can literally see time passing and me not doing something. But also you can move things away. If you didn't do something, you can just push it to a little bit later that day or tomorrow, which always makes me feel horrible. So to be able to not push things and basically postpone things, I try to follow my Google Calendar, aka my boss. Yes, Google Calendar is my boss. She's very demanding, but the thing is, I told her the day before what she should tell me to do the next day. How can I argue with myself, my yesterday self, because that person was a little bit, smarter than I am today, because today I don't feel like it. But yesterday I was not thinking about feelings, I was only thinking about what makes sense. So that person is probably the person to listen to. And that is kind of how I beat procrastination as well. I keep Google Calendar open on my desktop and on my phone all the time. I'm constantly looking at it. When somebody asks me, what are you gonna do after this? I'm like, I don't know, I have to check my calendar because I don't keep anything in my brain. And when I see that visually and when I make that really great flow, I easily stick to my plans. And obviously, this will change for you. You make a plan, an ideal day routine first, and then a plan, and then see if it works. And if it doesn't, you can just adopt it to a place where it really, really works for you. Maybe you will leave half-an-hour breaks in between everything, or maybe you'll just pack it and you can stick to it like that. It all depends on understanding who you are, like we said in the beginning, and also understanding how you perform best and how you stick to the plans best. What happened with me is I used to over-plan. I was like, oh, I can get that done in half an hour. Oh, I can get that done in an hour. Well, I'm fast, but I'm not that fast. So over-planning was a problem, but when I put things on Google Calendar and I started, making things longer, now I know how long they will actually take and I plan accordingly. So optimization is key. And that's how you make a day plan and stick to it. If you're curious about that video about the ideal day routine making, it's gonna be here, and the Google Calendar tutorial explaining all the nitty-gritty and all my tips and tricks about how to use Google Calendar is gonna be linked right here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video where we'll talk about more and more about having a happy and successful life. Take care. Mwah. Bye.